How's it going tonight, everybody? I wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been up to today. I changed things around over here a little bit. I decided to put a bat box in here to collect the power from this setup that I showed in the last one. And I've got two battery boxes down here, and both of them have lithium RE batteries in them. 4x lead cable connecting this, and I also put a regular generator on top. And you'll notice that, let me grab this out of here, throw this in, that they both run. This will run and stay pretty steady. This will steadily go down, so I need to put the rest of these in here. But that means that it's actually kicking more than 32 EU in when it's got all three, I do believe. And then I also have the generator. So this is why I really wish we had some sort of Gregtech way of making EU other than the solar panels, because I do not like having to use IC2 power because it just is off. And I don't trust putting this type of power into a Gregtech battery box and showing that that's the way I set it up, because I don't want somebody to see it, try to do it, and then it blow up because of us actually getting the explosions turned back on. So a Gregtech liquid heat exchanger would be really, really nice. That way I could do this all a lot better. But anyways, this is how I'm getting my silicon from asbestos. I've also got glauconite down here, which I'll be running through the centrifuge to get the aluminum. I could put it through an electrolyzer, but I don't need iron as much as I need aluminum. And then the glauconite itself, eventually, when I get up that high, I can get more aluminum, potassium, magnesium, oxygen, water, all that good stuff. But mainly I just want the byproducts off of it right now. Alright, so we come over here and you can see I'm getting a lot of charcoal buildup. I got all of it brought over from the old place. Plus I haven't had my steam stuff on for today. Now for the other contraption, I have 3 bat boxes in here and a transformer. This one just has a little redstone RE battery. That's for the buzzsaw, which I don't use that much. This one has a nickelite battery. That's for the wire mill, which again I don't use very much. This isn't staying. This is only here because I'm making so many wires that I wanted to get that hooked up. And then the other one has a lithium battery, and that's for my sluice. This thing I had to put a pipe in to get it into the box, and it doesn't check when it can send something out again. Once it sends something out and then can't send it again yet, it doesn't ever check again that it can, because there's plenty of room here to send it, but the pipe was full when it tried to send this, because apparently there were more. So I need to make a bigger pipe or just keep babysitting it like this, like I have been, until I get the wire mill out of the way. But that gives it time to heat up because I'm actually only charging it with this generator. There is a CESU right there, you can just barely see it, that is holding the power. And that's the only reason why this is able to run, is because I'm going off of that, letting it build up. I'm going to be hooking this up, but right now I'm kind of torn on how I'm going to do this. I wanted to do this a complete Gregtech build, but the problem is that if you squeeze apples, you get apple juice. You do not get fruit juice. And then I have to run it through a generifier to get it to the fruit juice, which really slows things down. That's not a problem. The problem is that everything in this can be done with steam or heat, except for the shredder. Let me walk you through how this setup is going to work. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is we need to make biochaff. And the only ways to do it is leaves, which is going to cost a material to get, so I don't want to do that, or vines, weeds, sugar cane, plant balls, and then a lot more leaves. Well, because I have the tree farm, what I'm wanting to do is saplings. Well, for saplings, they have to be compressed in a compressor into the plant ball, which they're in here somewhere in this 25,000 thing of stuff. And it's 4 saplings to make a plant ball, if I'm remembering correctly. But the plant ball itself can go into a regular fermenter, or it has to be shredded to be made into biochaff to be put into this fermenter, because this fermenter can only do biochaff, it cannot do the plant balls. And that's where the problem runs in. I need a shredder, and a shredder runs off of electricity. There is no steam way of making rotational power, which, you know, I wish there was. It may not make a whole lot of sense to run a centrifuge off of rotational power, but something like a shredder or a crusher, it does. Well, crusher uses different kind of power, but you know, that's something that it definitely does make sense, because it doesn't need high speed power. It just needs to turn. It needs more torque. So a steam rotational power for this would make a lot of sense. But I don't want to put electricity into this setup to make power to send off to other places. I want to use basically charcoal power or creosote power or something like that to power this setup. So what I'm thinking about doing is still using these fermenters from forestry and then taking the biomass from them and putting them into the distiller, which will be the last step, because they would go into this and that would make the ethanol. See if only 100 in there. Should be able to find it. There it is. So basically it's going to be biomass, ethanol, and distilled water. And then this I'm going to test if it will actually work in this here. I know the stuff that comes out of the still does. I'm hoping it will as well, and it definitely should. And then I'll use that to make power for this setup over here, and I'll actually make a few of those to power things, because I'm not quite ready to set this up. I don't want to set this up until I have a very large amount of power storage to store it. I don't want things blowing up on me again. I've had enough blow-ups. But I went back to the old base and grabbed a few more machines you can see sitting around here. And this is what I'm going to work on this week, is getting these things set up and making some different setups that I plan on running, trying to figure out what I'm going to do about this power thing. Because as of right now, I'm basically thinking I'm going to have one of these at little stations like this and like this. Like I'll have another battery box here, and I'll put something like that there, right there, that will run between the 3 battery boxes, and we'll run those 3 machines. Now, doing it that way, you won't be able to run all 3 machines, because this won't put out but like 32 EU. But it'll be able to run one of them pretty sustained. Now, but that's what's going on at the moment. I have these 2 things over here set up. I've got a bath here with 2 smelteries, and this is basically going to be my setup for making galvanized, and this one is going to be for my circuits to put soldering alloy in. And I'm going to keep all of these as of right now running off of just burning boxes, so I need to make a couple more. Kind of debating. The reason why I don't have them made yet is I'm debating on if I want to make them solid, because I do have plenty of charcoal, or if I want to make them liquid burning boxes and run them off of either creosote or ethanol, or what was the other thing I was going to run them off of? Vodka. I was actually thinking about making some a vodka setup as well. So still kind of deciding on that. Apparently I ran out of power, and that would be why my Pehoho lava drum got full. Been making a lot of this stuff, and I need to have 64 EU centrifuge to run through it, or run it through, and that means that I need 128 power going into it. I'm having enough trouble trying to power this thing with just 32, 64 EU. So I haven't set up a way of doing this, so they're just getting stored at the moment. Once I work out my power setup this week, I'll definitely start running that stuff through and getting that done. But I need a lot of this aluminum so I can make a lot more battery boxes and kind of go from there. I also have some things in here that I haven't ran through the shredder, like Garnier right here. This is basically my main way of getting nickel, and I was looking through here, and if I run it through a bath, oh, excuse me, everything's fine until it's time to record, and then I gotta start yawning because my allergies hit me. But if I run it through a bath with sulfuric acid, I can get extra garnierite ore and the cyan vitriol, and the cyan vitriol will give me extra nickel. Or what I'm planning on doing with this one is running it through a magnetic separator, I do believe, which is going to get me this very light, and this stuff here, will give me platinum and arsenic, but who cares about the arsenic? So I'm trying to save this right now to run through the magnetic separator, so I need to get me a magnetic separator. Iron, I do believe, was the same type of thing. I can do a bath and get tiny refined iron and green vitriol, which will give me iron, or I can run it through a magnetic separator and get tin, but I pretty much want to run it through that bath, I do believe, so I can get extra iron out of it. But I haven't decided yet if I'm doing that. The main one I do believe is the chrome here, which I've been getting out of UV light. If I run it through a bath, I get the green vitriol and extra chromium. You know, this is 1.22, which is the same as what this is. If I go over here, you know, this is 1.222, and so is this. So I get the same amount out with 50% chance of getting extra chromium. And then I also get the green vitriol, which is iron again. So for every 2 I run through, I get a piece of iron from the green vitriol stuff. Or I can run it through a magnetic separator again, still get the same amount of chromium and get iron. So I'd much rather run it through the bath thing. And doing it with the bath thing and the sulfuric acid isn't a problem because I'm going to get all kinds of this from my roaster. And I need to get one. I have one of these over there. I just have to get it set up and started running. And I will have all kinds of sulfuric dioxide to mix up and make sulfuric acid. I just need to get it set back up, and I brought over a drum of oxygen from the old place. Getting oxygen isn't really hard to do, and I have tons of it over at the other place. I've actually given Crazy, I do believe, 3 drums of it. I brought over a drum and I've still got almost a full 5 by 5 by 5 Railcraft tank of oxygen. So not really a problem, not hard to get my hands on. So I just decided to bring some over. I got my roaster right here. I just gotta decide what I'm running through it first and set up the way of getting everything in and all that good stuff. So that'll be coming this week as well, hopefully. So that's basically what's been going on here and what I've been working on. I'm getting so much of this damn magnesium. I really hope we get a good use for it eventually. I'm gonna have so much of it. But I will let you guys go. Just wanted to give you a little kind of preview for the week and show you what I did with my 2 little messy setups I have here and let you know what's been going on. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.